Welcome to This Week in Astrology. This is episode number 561 for November 23 through 29, 2020. This week's highlight is Neptune turning direct after being retrograde for more than 5 months. We also have Pluto aspecting the goddess of committed partnership, the peak of a hard rectangle aspect pattern, and 8 bonus aspects that are not in my written forecast. Before I go any further, let me tell you about my Black Friday savings on Astrology Plus readings. Before the pandemic, I was charging $180 an hour for Astrology Plus sessions. When the pandemic got serious, I temporarily dropped to $120 an hour to help folks out. But my Black Friday savings are even better. Through Monday, November 30th, I've dropped my rate to just $99 an hour. Stock up. Prepay as many sessions as you like for yourself. They're good for more than a year through December 31st of 2021. You can also buy gift certificates for your friends and loved ones at this special rate. I don't have to tell you how intense 2020 has been. 2021, dominated by a no-nonsense Saturn-Uranus square, is also likely to bring plenty of challenges. I can tell you exactly how 2021's revolutionary energies will archetypally impact your natal chart. My practical, to-the-point advice can help you work skillfully with the coming year's potent astrological forces to create the most wonderful possible outcome. I specialize in helping clients transform difficult astrological alignments into awesome opportunities. Choose from 4 Astrology Plus session lengths. The longer the session, the more insight you'll gain. An hour is only $99, 90 minutes is $149, 2 hours is $199, and a deep dive 3-hour session is only $299. These sweet discounts are only good through Monday, November 30th, so place your order now. The Black Friday blog post is featured on the home of astroshaman.com, as well as in the show notes at astroshaman.com/561. And remember, you buy them now, and you have all through the end of 2021 to use them. We now return to our usual introduction. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm your host, Benjamin Bernstein, broadcasting from thisweekinastrology.com. I simultaneously record these weekly forecasts as an audio podcast and a video, so you can choose whichever format you prefer. The video version includes detailed chart graphics, which you can also see in my written forecasts at astroshaman.com. This Week in Astrology is honored to be one of the internet's top 10 astrology podcasts. Check out our website where you can hear the show and subscribe to podcast updates. And if you haven't already, be sure to click the link in the show notes for 2 chances to win a free Astrology Plus session with me each month. What's old as we come into this week? We have a waxing moon, Neptune, Chiron, and Uranus all retrograde. And we have a hard rectangle through November 29th and a grand cross with Vesta, Neptune, and the lunar nodes through March 18th. Let's move on to this week's events. On Monday, November 23rd, we have the first of our 8 bonus aspects, Mercury trine Neptune. Mercury is at 18 Scorpio, Neptune is at 18 Pisces. Mercury is the planet of mind. It's about learning and communication. Neptune is about the divine flow of inspiration. The trine that connects them is easy, smooth connection, effortless. So under this aspect, it's going to be a lot easier for you to receive intuitive downloads into your mind. If you want to channel or easily communicate, for example, often in my client work, we'll be doing astrology or shamanic healing, and all of a sudden out of nowhere, I just know something. And I pass that information along to them in a channeling format. Mercury trine Neptune is really awesome for just that sort of thing if you want to experiment with those kind of things yourself. Now, Mercury is also in Scorpio, and Scorpio is about getting intense into the bottom of things. So a Mercury Scorpio placement is great for research, detective work, investigation, going deep and spending a long time into something. So that's another way you can play that as well. So a few thoughts on how you might want to use Mercury trine Neptune here on Monday, November 23rd. And all these quicker planet aspects are good for at least a week either side. So you got plenty of time to work with them. On Wednesday, November 25th, we have a much longer lasting aspect, Pluto quintile Chiron. When you have 2 slow planets like this, this can last for weeks. Pluto is at 23 Capricorn. Chiron is at 5 Aries. So Chiron is the planet of the wounded healer. That means Chiron has to do with shadow work. That means when you have a challenging emotion come up, then instead of running from it, you turn around, you face it, you use a good tool to dive right into it, deal with it, and flush it out and clear it once and for all. I have such a tool that I offer freely. It's called the Healing Invocation. And you simply say 8 words to your higher self. I remember 7 words. You just say maximum healing that serves highest good, please. And then you say that understanding you're talking to your higher self. You rest your attention wherever the challenging energy is. And then you just gently hold attention there. The divine then comes in, stirs it up, flushes it out. If you want to learn more about that, I've got a link in the show notes to my free invocation masterclass, a 6-part video series where I'll teach you step by step how to call in your own embodied awakening, how to call in your own healing, and how to integrate these simple tools into your daily life if you so desire. So all that's available if you're interested. So basically, also the Pluto quintile Chiron, since the quintile is a magical fairy dust kind of aspect full of inspiration and creativity, this can also amplify your ability to be the Chiron expressing positively in the world. So if you are a healer or mentor or desire to be, this is a great time to cultivate those gifts or actually do them if you're helping other people with them. So those are the most obvious ways of using a Pluto Chiron quintile. Also on Wednesday, November 25th, we have Venus quincunx Chiron. Venus is at 5 Scorpio. Chiron, of course, is still at 5 Aries. And Venus now has 3 core meanings. Let's take them one at a time. Venus is relationship. Again, Chiron, wounding, challenging, quincunx, adjustment needed. So Venus quincunx Chiron says in one or more of your significant relationships, there might be some challenge come up. Someone might get triggered. Good time to do your shadow work and healing work. I've already given you how to work solo on your own internal emotions. However, if you want a wonderful tools that you and your partner can use to work things out between the two of you, I highly recommend Nonviolent Communication. Awesome book by Marshall Rosenberg, a classic, been used for decades. It's sold millions of copies, recommended by people like the Dalai Lama and the United Nations. It's just incredibly awesome if you want to work out challenges between two people or even groups of people. Venus is also creativity. So Chiron being the mentor, this is a good energy under which to receive mentoring in your creative art or maybe give it to someone else. Also, financial mentoring could be something you could work with here. So those are some ways you could work with that Venus quincunx Chiron. One more though, since Venus is in Scorpio, and when I think of relationship in Scorpio, I think of sex, sacred sex specifically. Scorpio is about soul deep erotic connection. And the Chiron brings the healing vibe into it. So using sacred sexuality for healing, where it's done in a very mindful way, where it's not just about getting the pleasure, but actually using the potent sexual energy to bring healing to some kind of problem. The idea of some sexual practices is the sex, again, is not for its own sake. You bring that tremendous power of orgasm, which is a huge, powerful force, and you direct it with an intention, such as healing in this case. So one of the less obvious uses of Scorpionic Venus quincunx Chiron, but you can go there if you want to. So let's move on to Thursday, November 26th. Is there some change that would help an important relationship better align with your life purpose, perhaps even a dramatic change? It could happen voluntarily or involuntarily under the influence of a Venus-Uranus lunar nodes hard rectangle. It started on November 21st, peaks today on the 26th, and ends on the 29th. Venus represents relationships. Her placement in Scorpio can influence you to dive deep into the hidden underpinnings of relationship dynamics. So what unhealed emotional wounds are driving dysfunctional behavior? My healing invocation that I already mentioned might help. Where is there opportunity to connect more deeply and authentically? If the relationship is romantic, how about some sexual experimentation or jumping to that new level of soul-blended lovemaking I was just talking about? Uranus represents unconventional thinking, paradigm shift, and intuitive hits. If a relationship does not align with your soul purpose, represented by the lunar nodes, Uranus might just throw an unexpected lightning bolt to shake things up. If he does, watch for intuitive hits on how to make your connection even more wonderful. This hard rectangle can also pop down fresh creative inspiration as well as new insights on how to deal with your finances. Also, on Thursday, November 26th, Sun trine Chiron. Sun is 5 Sagittarius, Chiron is 5 Aries. So here we have once again Chiron, the wounded healer energy. The Sun is your core identity or your vitality. Trine again is easy, smooth connection. So this is a placement that is smoothly supportive of healing or mentoring or shadow work, if you wish. Sun in Sagittarius is an amplifying energy. The Sagittarian energy goes back toward Chiron and juices it up some more. So we could put all that together and say, wow, do your shadow work well, and you'll end up more bright and sunny and happy with that great Sagittarian energy. Moving on to Friday, November 27th, another bonus aspect, Mercury sextile Pluto. Mercury is 23 Scorpio, Pluto is 23 Capricorn. This we have kind of gotten into already. I've already talked about Mercury being in Scorpio, and according to the astrology alphabet, where there's a planet, a sign, and a house that all mean the same thing, Pluto and Scorpio are exact synonyms. So this is just Mercury really getting down with that deep, intense energy. So as I said earlier, this is great for taking the mind deep into honest, uninhibited territory, free riding with no inhibitions, for example. Again, Mercury, the mind going deep into detective work, investigation, diving deep, staying there a long time if you want to. Truth telling would be really potent here. Those are some beautiful ways you could use Mercury sextile Pluto if you're so inclined. Also, on Friday, November 27th, Venus opposes Uranus. Venus is at 8 Scorpio and Uranus is at 8 Taurus. So Venus and Uranus, let's start just planet to planet. Venus, as I've mentioned, is 3 different things. Let's take relationship. Uranus is breakthrough, paradigm shift, shake it up. Uranus is good at destabilizing and throwing a monkey wrench into that which is not optimized. So if you have relationships that need some healing, that need some work, that Venus-Uranus opposition can, fire up and show you where the discordance is. Of course, if the relationship is awesome, then Uranus can say, hey, let's take it to the next level of even more wonderful. That's quite possible as well. Uranus, of course, is the planet that sends down intuitive hits. So here in the days around November 27th, keep your mind open to your divine self popping down information about relationships, maybe telling you, okay, this is one to let go of. This is one to go deep into and heal and take it deeper. An awesome relationship you want to take even more awesome, things like that. By the way, how do you know when it's a real intuitive hit? The thought comes in and you just know it in your bones, you know it in your gut. It's a body knowing, not just a mental contemplation. Venus opposed Uranus could be, let's go outside the box and try some unusual things creatively. Financially, you might get some cool hits, innovative ideas around how to work with money in some way. All cool ways to use Venus opposite Uranus. Now, moving along to Saturday, November 28th. Would you like to establish deeper honesty, authenticity, and vulnerability, that would be Pluto, in a committed partnership, that would be Juno. A Pluto-Juno sextile, Pluto's at 23 Capricorn, Juno is at 23 Scorpio, makes this easier. This harmonious and energizing aspect is in orb, which means close enough to influence each other, November 3rd through December 24th, and peaking here today. This sextile also supports harmonious business dealings since Pluto represents wealth and power. And also here on Saturday, November 28th, we have our headline event, Neptune stations direct at 18 degrees Pisces. The mystic planet turned retrograde back on June 23rd at 21 degrees Pisces. Personal planet retrogrades, such as the recent retrogrades of Mercury and Mars, are quicker and impact us in more obvious ways. In contrast, the retrogrades of outer planets like Neptune last about 5 months. This one went a little over 5 months. Their direction does not have a significant impact on their effects as transiting planets, but their themes are worthy of reflection, especially when they change directions. Here are the Neptunian themes that I suggested for your contemplation on June 23rd. And this is, so now Neptune going direct, the time to put it into action. How are you doing with your spiritual awakening practices? Are you expressing your inspired creativity? Are you doing dream work or operating consistently in the zone, in your flow state? How about Neptune's low side? Are you having any issues with substance abuse? Are you getting so lost in escapist activities, too much just sex, internet, games, whatever, that you're neglecting important matters in the physical world? Are you drifting aimlessly or playing the victim in a relationship? Focusing on Neptune's high side can weaken the lure of its low side. If this strategy is not sufficient, especially in areas such as substance abuse, be sure to seek professional help. So, have you gained insights in any of these high or low Neptunian areas? If so, Neptune's direct station is a great time to start taking action on them. What about the impact on your natal chart? Planets are most powerful when they change directions, and Neptune stations direct near 18 degrees Pisces. This means that any sensitive points in your natal chart between 15 and 21 degrees of a mutable sign, that would be Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, or Pisces, will be strongly affected by this Neptune station. And also, on Saturday, November 28th, we have Mercury sextile Jupiter, yet another bonus aspect. Mercury is at 26 Scorpio and Jupiter is at 26 Capricorn. Now here we have both teacher planets. Mercury is just kind of a trivial pursuit kind of thing. It'll just take in anything and is just endlessly curious about everything. Jupiter, however, specializes. Jupiter says, I'm only interested if it's going to make meaning for me, if it's going to support religion or philosophy or the meaning of life. It has to be something that makes my life genuinely better and not just random trivia. So with both teaching, learning planets sextile, a harmonious and flowing aspect and very energizing too, great time to do mental stuff, learn, teach, whatever you're doing. Mercury is still in Scorpio. I've already gone on and on about how you can, go deep and investigate and do detective work. One thing I haven't really said though, Mercury in Scorpio is a great time to deliver transformative information. So if that's your thing, great time to do it while Mercury is sextile Jupiter, a week either side of Saturday, November 28th. And we have one more, Sunday, November 29th, Sun quincunx Uranus. Sun is at 8 Sagittarius, Uranus at 8 Taurus. So this is, again, you, the sun, core of identity, Uranus, the planet of uniqueness, adjustment. One of the most obvious ways this might play is you get an intuitive hit that suggests you make some significant adjustment in your life. So feel free to go ahead and take advantage of that. Other Uranian energies coming to the core of personality might be the desire to show your authentic self more fully to the world, follow your intuitive hits more consistently. They do come direct from your higher self, the most reliable source of information that exists for a person. Or you might want to take your special gifts and talents and use them to help folks in a way that delights you. Sun in Sagittarius. Sagittarius has so many meanings. With Uranus, it could be, wow, breakthroughs in the meaning of life, in religion, exciting outside the box stuff relating to foreign cultures. So many ways that could play. So those are just a handful that it might express as. So that's our events. But let me ask you something. Does it seem like you have no control over negative thoughts and the challenging emotions they generate? Does it feel like the river of thought is sweeping you downstream as you flail helplessly in its overwhelming current? What if you could magically transport yourself onto the riverbank, or better yet, what if you could stop the river entirely so that you could bask in the bliss of pure, thought-free consciousness? What if there was a simple, easy way to shape your river of thought as you wish? What if you could control how fast it flowed and choose life-affirming thoughts to populate its waters? In this life-transforming live interview, I'll teach you how surprisingly simple it is to gain control over your thoughts. I'll give you a simple technique that will empower you to clear old negative thought patterns once and for all. And I will teach you how to easily establish a vigilant mental guardian who can repel negative thoughts before they have a chance to infiltrate your mind. So join me this Wednesday, November 25th at 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. I will be the featured guest on the Alara Canfield Show, the Awaken to Happiness Now Masterclass series. You can join us for free, and Also access free presentations from over 30 amazing transformational teachers, mentors, leaders, and wayshowers. Enjoy dozens of wonderful conversations and experiential processes. When you register, you'll receive access to the live shows and the replays. You'll also receive valuable gifts from the presenters. Experience powerful conversations, processes, clearings, and tools. Transform your energy, life, and consciousness forever. Join us, please, on this amazing journey of love, joy, ease, prosperity, and happiness. You can activate your free access now by clicking the link in the show notes at astroshaman.com/561. There's also a blog post about it on the homepage of astroshaman.com. I'd also like you to know that everyone is welcome to participate in most live Awakening Plus calls for free. These calls support your individual healing and awakening and also support the current global spiritual awakening. Here are descriptions of our remaining November events. Every Thursday at 8 p.m. U.S. Eastern, we have the newly renamed event New Earth Support Team, because the teamwork is getting so amazing as we're doing these. We will create our sacred container, invoke embodied awakening, and then flow energy to support the more awakened new earth currently blossoming. Our intention is always the same, but the divine keeps it fresh by providing endless variations on this amazing experience. Thankfully, one thing remains consistent: the personal spiritual upgrades and profound bliss we always receive. And that call lasts about an hour. Also on Tuesday, November 24th, 8 p.m. U.S. Eastern, the ever-popular Shamanic Awakening ceremony. This intense experience combines the healing power of shamanism with my complete invocation cycle for embodied awakening. We begin by invoking safe, sacred space, supported by many powerful divine beings of love and light. Then we do a series of invocations to help each person move into embodied awakening. In this state, you'll experience the integration of your light body and physical body. This creates union with your higher self, a profoundly peaceful state, free of thought and troubling emotions. I have been a professional shamanic healer since 2012. During the healing section, the centerpiece of this event, I ratchet up the energy to high intensity. I typically use voice, rattles, and drum to help clear your heavy energies. You can heal old wounds and traumas during this part of the shamanic awakening ceremony. The experience can be challenging, but our divine allies will make sure you do not get overwhelmed. After the healing section, exquisite celestial energy pours in from above, and then I may use angelic chimes or other high vibration instruments. These will help you move into your deepest possible awakened state. Expected duration is about 2 hours. Awakening Plus features at least 7 live streaming events each month. Most are open to everyone for free. The archive of 280 transformative events and enlightening course content, including the 16-part Invocation Masterclass, is available exclusively to members. Members also benefit from community support, including monthly community connection calls and our private forum. Learn more at awakeningplus.com. Thank you for being here. Once again, I'm Benjamin Bernstein with astroshaman.com. I can serve you with astrology readings, shamanic healing, awakening activation, astrological event timing, and one-of-a-kind life coaching. All my one-on-one services are equally effective in person or long distance. And as I mentioned, during the pandemic, I have dropped my rates significantly. I also offer an unbeatable price on SolarFire, the #1 astrology software for Windows, if you want to calculate your own charts. And as I mentioned, I run the Awakening Plus online membership for spiritual support. Learn all about this and more at astroshaman.com. The show notes, as I mentioned, are at astroshaman.com/561. All this stuff is linked there. Please reach out if you have any questions. My email is astroshamanbenjamin@gmail.com. My number for voice and text, 828-338-9852. I would love to connect with you. As we close, let me remind you about those Black Friday savings on Astrology Plus readings. Prepay as many sessions as you like for yourself or as gifts for just $99 an hour through Monday, November 30th. Again, details are in the show notes and on the homepage of astroshaman.com. Please do leave me a rating, review, or comment wherever you're getting this episode so that others who also love astrology and spirituality can find it. Thanks again for spending this time with me. Stay safe, Stay healthy. I wish you infinite blessings as the stars light your way.